and also seeing Della. And also, I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard, crazy, but, and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
got good
watching
scrambles.
him with Della as well, and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
dense,
think,
man, just dense.
dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then
Alexander Volkanovski and Israel Adesanya slam Islam Makhachev, stating that he won't be able to defeat Jack Della Maddalena. On the other hand, Islam Makhachev is training relentlessly in Dagestan, pushing his limits under Khabib's watchful eye ahead of his welterweight showdown with Jack Della Maddalena. Moreover, Robert Whittaker said he's biased as heck, but still believes Jack Della Maddalena can beat Islam Makhachev because of his size, underrated jiu-jitsu, and awkward striking style. He emphasized that Jack's takedowns won't be easy to secure, and that his sharp boxing, body shots, and ability to punch at tricky angles could give Islam real problems.
Why does he beat Islam in your opinion?
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's a little, like, he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands. And if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines, but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. You know, I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
However, Israel Adesanya said Jack Della Maddalena will beat Islam Makhachev due to his size, strength, and relentless scrambles, emphasizing that Jack's striking pressure and physicality could overwhelm Islam, especially if the takedowns aren't successful.
and also seeing Della. And also, I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard, crazy, but, and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
good
watching him
scrambles.
with Della as well, and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
Dense,
think,
man, just dense.
dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, fucking good. But I know.
Moreover, Alexander Volkanovski believes Jack Della Maddalena's ability to stay aggressive on the feet despite takedown threats, along with his growing confidence from handling strong wrestlers, makes him well equipped to deal with Islam Makhachev.
Jack Della and what he did him with Bilal is he will, you know, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so like, and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, like with Islam, was like, I'm going to do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're
Later
there. But
on,
I'll still
once you
commit to
realize
things.
you can handle it, then you were just like, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at the takedown. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Like obviously he's going to do.
Over there.
Hey?
You going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get we'll see. I might even go with whatever they want. I'm happy to do whatever.
Israel Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski praised Jack Della Maddalena's rise, highlighting how his success lifts the entire Anzac MMA scene. Adesanya expressed pride in Jack becoming the third Australian UFC champion, noting how few fighters from Australia and New Zealand make it that far. He added that Jack's focus, composure, and ability to stay in his game, especially in scrambles and getting back to his feet, will be too much for Islam Makhachev. Both agreed that Jack's style and mentality make him a serious threat, with Adesanya fully believing a knockout win is possible.
Anzac United, whenever one of us does it, it just raises the whole level, the whole game. And I feel like, I don't know, this part of the world needs to understand what we're doing. Like what you've just done, what he's just done. He's the third Australian to get a UFC title. How many Australians are in the fucking UFC?
Exactly right, man. That's what I mean. Like, well, pound for pound, when you talk about countries how small, like Australia, New Zealand is, mate, it's insane.
But yeah, this fight, fucking Ben Vickers said he's gonna knock him out, and I believe him. I honestly believe him, because I just think he's not gonna be able to hand with him on the scrambles, or when he gets back up. He's gonna, like, Della is just so stoic. And he just, like you said, focuses on his own game. And when he does that, I really think he's gonna get him. And I can't wait till that happens. And wherever it is, I'm gonna be there.
Moreover, Khabib Nurmagomedov stated that he sees Jack Della Maddalena as possibly the most difficult challenge Islam Makhachev will ever face. He explained that Jack is significantly larger than Ilia Topuria, equally skilled, and possesses solid grappling ability. According to Khabib, if he had to get Islam ready to face either Ilia or Jack, Maddalena would be the bigger concern.
Считаю, что Maddalena самый сложный соперник в ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов. И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы. Ну, мое личное мнение, во-первых, Maddalena 2 раза больше, чем Илья. Сопоставим. Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощнее, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэпплинг он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Ну, для меня, если я например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Maddalena, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Maddalena.
Max Holloway mentioned that many are overlooking Jack Della Maddalena, despite his status as one of the top fighters in the world and his #2 pound-for-pound ranking. He said the matchup could take place in October and expects it to be a challenging, strategic, and entertaining battle. Max cautioned that Jack shouldn't be underestimated.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, you know, he's the #2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the #2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you gotta respect that, but. You know, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Joe Rogan offered a different take, highlighting how unusually strong and physically built Islam Makhachev is for a lightweight. He finds it hard to believe that someone with Islam's thick frame can still make the 155-pound limit, and credits his gripping strength and overwhelming top control as key factors in his dominance once he grabs hold of opponents.
When I interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's... I remember when he fought Drew Dober.
Rogan also gave credit to Islam's striking evolution, noting that it's developed into a real threat rather than just support for his grappling, and he pointed to the head kick finish against Volkanovski as proof of how sharp Islam's timing and fight IQ have become, and emphasized that taking that bout on short notice was a dangerous risk for Volk.
Like his striking is much, much better than it was when he was younger. He's a threat everywhere. Like when he knocked out Volk with that high kick.
Yeah,
and
that was
granted, crazy. But granted, if I was in Volk's corner, I would say, no,
I know.
You're not taking it. You've been fucking drinking beer and eating kebabs. Like, there's no way you're taking this fight on 10 days notice. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how much you like fighting. That's a crazy thing. I don't care how much money they're paying you. Because you look at the slide that his career took, right? He arguably won that first fight with Islam. Very close fight. Loses a decision. Or was it a draw?
It was a decision. Was it a draw? That's actually a good question.
Jack Della Maddalena, however, maintained confidence in his chances, pointing out that Islam has some tendencies that can be exploited. He criticized Makhachev for rarely switching stances, which in Jack's view makes it easier to read his movements and land clean shots. He also downplayed the threat of takedowns, expressing trust in his ability to scramble and return to his feet.
I can take him out. I think. But Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think you can have someone that just stays in the same stance. And I don't think, but Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
Stuff the takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
Jack also shared that he plans to consult with Alexander Volkanovski in preparation for the bout. After being around Volk during and after his matches with Islam, Jack sees him as a reliable source of insight and intends to learn from his experience to build a stronger and smarter strategy.
So Volkanovski's obviously fought him before.
Yeah.
Will you pick Volk's brain?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely plan. After the last 2 fights, I've spent a bit of time in Wollongong. So yeah, I think probably the first stop, we go to Wollongong, talk to Volk, see what he reckons.
Islam Makhachev, on the other hand, acknowledged that Jack Della Maddalena is a real test. He recognized the improvements in Jack's wrestling skills and noted that a former weakness has now become one of his tools. Islam welcomed the matchup, saying he's eager to see who truly deserves the top spot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
Even though Jack respects Islam's size and admits he looks like a natural welterweight, he pushes back against claims that Islam will dominate the ground game. He made it clear that he doesn't accept the idea of being controlled easily and is confident in his own ability to avoid being overwhelmed.
But I'm sure people are just going to assume that Islam will just take me down and submit me pretty quickly.
Do you think he'll be big enough for 170?
I think he just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be alright.
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns supported Islam's decision to move up to welterweight, saying the cut to 155 pounds was too harsh on him. He described Islam as one of the best in the sport right now, but admitted Jack presents serious issues. Burns mentioned Jack's high-level training partners like Craig Jones and Volkanovski as crucial assets that make the fight competitive.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Islam's coach, Javier Mendez, made it known that their team isn't taking Jack lightly. He said anyone who assumes Jack is an easy opponent doesn't understand the level he's fighting at. Mendez specifically praised Jack's resilience, especially in his battle with Bilal Muhammad, and confirmed that both he and Khabib are well aware of the danger Jack brings.
If we as coaches think Jack is easier, we're stupid.
Yep.
We are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Bilal fight, because Bilal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. And he gave him two. Bilal gave him two. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, you know, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Khabib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam. We're not stupid.
Mendez went on to say that Jack's threat isn't just about size, but also his well-rounded striking. He pointed out that Jack blends powerful punches with kicks to the head, body, and legs. While calling Ilia Topuria the cleanest boxer, he warned that Jack's all-around stand-up game is is a legitimate problem. He stressed that Islam must be in peak form or face the risk of an upset.
We know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a much bigger guy and just as dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights. It's not easy. No way in hell is that fight gonna be easy. Very tough fight.
Daniel Cormier shared a note of caution, urging Islam to sharpen his wrestling before facing Jack. He highlighted how Islam struggled to control Dustin Poirier and warned that Jack's recent takedown defense has looked outstanding. Cormier believes Islam will need to upgrade his setups and positioning to avoid trouble in this fight.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena, who showed great takedown defense. And, man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good in close.
Muhammad Makhachev offered his view on a potential future showdown between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. He said the matchup would gain far more excitement if Islam becomes the welterweight champion while Ilia captures the lightweight belt. According to him, making the fight now would miss the opportunity for maximum buildup.
Now, for example, Islam fights Ilia and he beats him. Example, people say he beat another 145er. But Islam wins the title now at welterweight, and then Ilia beats Oliveira. That's even bigger fights to create, right? So I don't think Islam needs to slow down his career. He go take even they strip his belt off. In my opinion, he will be double champion, because that's how it started. If Conor could, why Islam can't, you know? And I think it create bigger name for them if this way better, rather than Islam fight Topuria and the hype slows down. You know what I mean? I'd rather see Islam becomes the champion, Ilia Topuria becomes the champion, and they can fight at catchweight for the, I don't know, whatever they want, you know?
Ian Gary found the matchup difficult to call. He praised Islam's well-rounded skill set, but said moving up a division adds uncertainty. Gary emphasized that Jack is naturally larger than Volk and still has strong takedown defense and elite striking, which could create serious issues even though Islam is currently seen as the favorite.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Sean O'Malley described the fight between Islam and Jack as a top-tier contest, but still viewed a future bout between Islam and Topuria as the bigger spectacle. He applauded Islam's victory over Belal Muhammad for raising interest in the Jack matchup. O'Malley added that if Jack stuffs takedowns and lands effectively, the fight could shift quickly.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big build,
We'll give him that.
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilya versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Charles Oliveira also acknowledged Jack as a major challenge due to his patient and calculated style. He observed how Jack didn't rush against Belal Muhammad, but gradually wore him down. Despite this, Oliveira still expects Islam to lean on his grappling, saying the outcome likely depends on whether Jack can stay upright and land strikes consistently.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della, Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Philip Rowe expressed full confidence in Jack Della Maddalena, saying he expects Jack to defeat Islam Makhachev. He argued that Islam lacks the size needed to handle elite welterweights, while Jack's punching power and ability to get back to his feet would be too much. Rowe predicted Jack would finish Islam before the final bell.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man? Chillin'.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Jack Hermanson said it's always uncertain how a fighter will adjust after moving up a weight class. He acknowledged that Islam Makhachev has looked nearly unstoppable at lightweight and could be the top pound-for-pound fighter at the moment. While he's not convinced Islam will dominate the same way at welterweight, he still slightly favors him. Hermanson also complimented Jack Della Maddalena's showing against Belal Muhammad, but believes more matchups are needed to fully judge Jack's true level.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. He looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good. Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. He looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Chael Sonnen questioned whether Islam Makhachev would stay at welterweight for another title run if he loses to Jack Della Maddalena or go back to lightweight. He used fighters like Ilia Topuria and Islam as examples of athletes driven by the goal of becoming champion. Sonnen emphasized that in MMA, chasing the belt is the biggest motivation and nothing else compares.
If he loses to Jack, does he get right back in the mix at 170? And works his way back to that title shot. Is that what he does, or does he cut his weight back down to 155 pounds? Whether it was Ilia, what he's going through now, what it is Islam and the announcement that we just got, what I'm attempting to prove to you is there is nothing in this sport that matters more to the fighters than the weight.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this fight? What do you think about their matchup? We would love to hear your thoughts on this clash. So share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other latest videos on the screen right now.